I'm the director of Oswald Buyers Agency. I'm also a buyer's agent, and my name is Ashish Malhotra. So I started early 2020. I was hustling for a while, 3-4 years. I worked part time, but since I've started, I've been pretty busy. The mission is be there for the buyer. Um, we target ourselves the wealth partner in terms of property. I've supported many clients getting the right or jumping or starting on the ladder of property with the best foundational asset possible. That's pretty much what we do and what the mission statement is. So there are a couple of differences that how I perceive it. One, the analysis and research is totally in-house, which means we're not buying locations of anyone. I have wealth of experience behind me in finding growth locations, and I do that research and find the locations. Second, I try to understand the buyer, what their journey is, how they should start out, and what's the best foundational asset or the first property or second or third for them would be. So I've strategized clients who had no cash flow, $2 million worth of assets, versus I have worked with clients who had $2 million in cash and they're just starting out. So at the same time, I'm doing commercial development. So there are ample opportunities that I can give to my clients. I've got ample off-market opportunities for clients who are struggling to get into premium markets. Say the starting point is $2.2 million. They come to me sometimes with 1.6, 1.7 mil. Of course, it's outside of expectations, but sometimes I have the client, I have the property, I just match them. So that definitely makes us a bit different from what others are doing out there. So I was smashed with work the moment from the day I've started. I've signed on an average of 4 clients a month. So I started around March last year. The average has been during those 10 months about 45 clients. So, and I was smashed with work. I didn't know what to do, who to approach. So I've got some mentorship with Ben Handler himself, and I really appreciate that. And he introduced me to CHERYL from the Growth Hub. So from the get-go, I knew what they were supporting me with, right? So then I wasn't sure what to give, what sort of work to give, right? So it's everything's new to me because I was just starting out and suddenly smashed with work. That's where I realized I need some support, and that's how I approached the Growth Hub. You won't believe, I kept on doubting myself whether I'm doing the right thing or not, whether I'm paying or not. I was very worried because it's the start of the business. I was doubting my intentions, whether I need a VA, I don't need a VA. First month really, and I just started part-time. And then I thought, look, if I have to go with this, I have to trust the process. I have to trust myself. I have to trust the advice. So that's pretty much how the first month was. I wasn't even sure whether I'm taking the right value or not, or getting the right value or not. I think starting second month, it was still stabilized. So first month was really uneven. Never. Got a list of tasks, which I think was a big support. But again, in those list of tasks, it's a starting business, right? Suddenly, if you could give a 30 odd processes, I don't know how that process fits into my business. But there was, I think during the end of the second month, there was this one call with Sarah, which has really changed the way I was working, where she insisted I should put a little trust on the VA. And I was not able to do that either. So that's when starting second month, I did place my trust. I started giving her a task by task, all monotonous tasks. I think my VA, she really came up with some ideas how processes can be improved, and now I don't think I would be able to do anything without her. So yeah, that's how it's changed. I think it's in March we'll complete a year. So now she's handling calendar management, email management. She is doing the templates for my social media posts. She's supporting me with social media, um, all my appointments. I even tell some of my counterparts or clients or whoever wants to meet. I give them an ID. Can you please talk to Barbie? So she's more, rather than a VA, she's become like an executive assistant. And every time I see a task, I know I can rely on her, and I try to give her a task. Sometimes, yes, there's a bit of a communication thing sometimes here and there, but that's also because we are just talking on phone. She doesn't knows how I'm. Like we're not in, of course it's in-person communication and on phone communication. Definitely there is a little bit of gap, but I think we've tried to eliminate many things. She's supporting me with pretty much everything. um, Even the emails, introduction emails between the clients and the counterparts, you see, building and best inspector engagements, sending their client details to the real estate agents, introducing clients with the property managers. So she's pretty much managing everything. I can't see myself doing all of that by myself, right? So I love quotes and funny, and I share a lot of quotes. I'd like to cover a quote here, right? So when you're looking into one thing, you can go as deep as possible, right? But when you are looking at multiple things, you'll be shallow. So those multiple things have been looked by Barbie at this point. I can even give her a few courses to see, Barbie, would you like to ramp up your knowledge and cover this eventually? And I think she's supported me a lot. Sorry, I can go on for 1 hour how she's supported me, but I'll keep it short. In my first year, I signed 45 clients. That anyways is a big achievement. This year, I've signed 6 clients already, and we're just starting out. So I think it's a big support. The biggest win is that my processes are being managed. Um, if she's and I understand, like sometimes it's good to give her holidays, but that's another thing. Growth Hub asks me if during a public holiday I want my VA to work or not, and they don't charge anything. But then I sometimes, out of just I think VAs deserve a break, and I do give 1 or 2 holidays, and then sometimes I want them to work, so I request them to work as well. So I've signed all of these clients. Pretty much all the background processes are managed by her. So I'm not doing anything hands-on. So I can focus what I do best, right? Hustling. So I hustle, I meet the real estate agents, I'm going out. I've got Barbie. I've also got another guy who's sourcing properties for me. But and again, as a team, I think both work well. All of us work well. And I would love people to step up wherever they can. And it just, you can see the effort people make. So certain times she has not even told me she's managed all the folders, but she does pretty much all the tasks in the background. Sometimes you do feel, oh, she's managed all of this. Wow, it looks amazing, right? And then these small things you notice, and that people are doing. While I know she's sending daily emails, this is what I've done, this is what I've done. And I don't even look at those emails because I'm closely working with her. I can see she's supporting. She's supportive. Sometimes ad hoc hours. She supports. I'm equally flexible. She wants to go somewhere, that's fine, by all means. So I think most of the tasks, I definitely want to reach a point where I'm not reviewing any emails and she does independently everything. But up till then, I think she's doing amazing work. So the way I view my business, I I think even when I brought Barbie on board, the first 2 or 3 months, I'm doing way longer hours and sleepless nights. I'm still doing it, but that's because it's the growth phase in the business, right? 5 clients is not easy, and I think I'm still confident I can take on more. The reason being, I've got support. I've got Barbie there, I've got Ankit there who works with me. So amazing team, I'd say. And I think the better the team is, the better I can hustle further. It really makes a difference. I think one learning that I have is, one, start placing your trust early. Apparently, it's on me. I take 3 to 6 months to understand someone and before placing my trust on them. Second thing that I've learned is be as clear in the communication as possible. Third, and the best learning so far for us has been, if you don't have a process defined, you cannot give it to a VA. So that's the importance of tools and processes, or putting tools and processes in place, because first comes tools, then comes processes, and then comes people. So all of three you have to run in parallel. If there are people but no processes, it'll be a haywire, it'll be a chaos. If you have tools and there are no processes, I don't think it works equally well, because I have a certain mechanism of finding the area and the property. And initially I was just doing everything haphazard, but I've started to note down certain points or steps what I'm doing. And I think it really does wonders for me as well, because now previously it was taking me 4 to 6 hours to find a decent area in any given state. Now it takes me about 2 to 3 hours. So it has improved for me as well. But then again, it's like a ongoing learning. You never, especially when you need to know the streets in an area, it just you keep deep diving, and that's where the research is with me. Sometimes I take up the negotiations, but my team's amazing. I've already recommended. Look, I see it takes time. Of course, no one can do things at the same level or in the same way as you're doing, and that's the point of bringing someone in, because you're bringing a fresh perspective into the process. So sometimes it may work, but I would definitely recommend the Growth Hub. Reason being, you have to train on different things, but that's because what you are doing yourself, right? So you're training on your processes. Now, thinking you're bringing in someone with already a knowledge on Australian property, the way things work, knowledge on tools, I think it's amazing, because Growth Hub already trains the VAs. So you don't have to at least spend your time in teaching people the basic stuff. And that's where what you're paying is for actually an experienced resource. So I remember when 2 VAs were brought to me to decide, I was equally confused who to select. And then I said, look, I think both are fine. Why don't I get a recommendation there? And I still got a recommendation. I mean, you just get a support, right? That's what I'm doing for people. I'm good at finding properties. My core skill is negotiating on properties and finding properties in an area, understanding people's strategy. Hiring people is not my core skill. So it's good. What's not your core skill, you get the best people to do the job. So I really got a lot of support from the Growth Hub. So I'm meeting people. I am still hustling. So look, I am very pumped up for 2022. I have my targets. I have my goals. And I know what to do with the business, what to do with the advertisements. I keep talking to people. I have to scale up, which means I need a lot of support in the back end, right? So it doesn't matter what I do in the front end, the back end, the systems and processes should keep running, and the people who drive that. So I need a lot of support, and I need to grow. And I'm very pumped up that I'm going to achieve 3 times the targets that I've done in 2021.